Welcome back, everybody. Tropical storm Melissa finally making its presence felt in the Caribbean. We haven't seen a Caribbean storm out here for the entire season so far. So this first one that's entered into the Caribbean Sea in 2025. We've got hurricane watches for the DR. You're talking from the border out there from the DR all the way through Haiti to Port-au-Prince. So Haiti has a hurricane watch. You're also looking at tropical storm watches in effect for Jamaica. We could see as much as 5 to 10 inches at the low end for those regions. Here to chat about it is Mike Boylan, a storm chaser and blogger with tons of followers out there behind Mike's weather page. Mike, always good to see you. You're back in your home studio. You're out from Talladega. And now we've got a fork in our road when we're talking about where these models are diverging with this Melissa.
Yeah, I know. We were kind of talking about that last week. We might be talking about it here, and here we are, right? Yeah, the Caribbean has just been quiet all year, and here we are. It's a lot of folks don't, think a lot of people think the season's over. I get that feeling online, and it's like, no, it's just kind of getting going for this part of the area to watch. So
yeah, and you're in Florida, and obviously you got major stakes with this, with the home state and everything. At this point, Florida, not too much thinking about a main impact there. Might get some residuals with the winds coming in maybe next week and some wave action. But at this point, the worst case scenario might be just plain rain for the Caribbean, but a lot of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've never really seen a circle for the NHC cone, in a long time. I mean, 5 days, this thing could be hovering all the way through the weekend. And, you still wonder, I mean, there's still a few ensembles pointing, pretty darn close to the lower part of the state and even the East Coast. I mean, Sandy was this time of the year. So that can happen. We get these rolling high pressures and cold fronts. It's all going to come down to that cold front next week, the Halloween cold front, and how far west does this get before it lifts and eventually turns. So we're going to be watching it close.
You've been watching it too, and I was just talking to our hurricane expert, Brian Norcross. Has anything really changed since the last time we saw you about the steering flow? And he said, yeah, the dip in the jet stream stronger, but this thing is formed a little farther down to the south.
Correct. Right. Exactly. And I mean, it's that high pressure, the GFS, I think, is getting thrown out, right? Because it was showing it just lifting off over Hispaniola.
Yeah,
and
real
I don't
quick.
think you see mine.
Yeah.
It's the Euro definitely is picking this thing. I always look at TVCN models, the consensus models, and they're all doing that little zigzag and that little stall and that turn. And but yeah, Caribbean is definitely going to be big impacts with that rain. I mean, 20, 30, 40 inches. Come on, that's unheard of.
I mean, that's the high end, right? But if it does stall out and you're talking winds constantly blowing up the mountains with that tropical nature, yeah, 3 to 4 feet of rain is a possibility. That would be just absolutely devastating for Dominican Republic and Haiti too. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But it's been the Euro so far, which looks like everybody's coming in along the lines with even the Google AI DeepMind is drifting back down to the south.
Yeah, and I was watching like the UK and the Google model. They weren't even developing this, so it makes me chuckle. Every model seems to have good days and bad days. It's like, it's why it's so important to look at all the models. We're in a very suppressed phase of that MJO, and here we got a bubbling system in that Caribbean. So Mother Nature always throws you little kinks in what you think and what's actually happening. But it does make sense. That high pressure is to the north, and they clockwise flow. It's going to kind of push it a little to the west, and we got to just it's a timing. I mean, look at his history in October. Look at Wilma. I mean, you can't turn. You can never say never in the tropics.
No, we were watching it yesterday, Mike, and we were just talking about it. It has that shape. It's starting to come together a little bit, and the visible satellite does show the center circulation displaced from the main batch of thunderstorms that's blowing up on its east side and getting pushed out of there. But even so, I'm going to zoom it in for you right here, Mike, so you can see it. I was looking at this before, and you can basically start seeing maybe the circulation getting a little better defined over the last few hours. They're flying into it right now, so we'll have a better fix later this afternoon, but you can see it.
Oh, yeah, you can feel it. You can just, you can almost I always use my hands, and you can almost feel it like wrapping, like it's trying to get going, and that mid-levels, on the east a little bit. But that's expected. It's we're in La Nina. I mean, I was looking at wind shear anomalies this morning, and we are going to be lower than normal. So it's going to have a few days. And I mean, we've seen rapid intensification this year happen overnight with 82 degrees water. This is 85, 60 degrees.
Yeah, you're getting 87. Luckily, National Hurricane Center said it was more of a gradual just because of the dry air that's ripping into it right now. But it's not out of the realm. When you're talking, high octane fuel, 87 degrees, and it goes down deep, Mike, I think you could be right.
Yeah, well, and they always start a little conservative,
Yeah, always low.
no
Yeah.
fault. And they have to. I mean,
Yep.
I love how they progressively make their changes.
You don't want to scare people. Like, oh my, and going to take it right off the shelf. You can't say it's going to be a Cat 4 and then say, oh, next day, no, we're only kidding Cat 2. Because then it could bounce right back up again. So you want to just take it in steps, right?
Correct. Yeah, totally. But yeah, we got a bona fide, legit late season storm here brewing, and it could even skirt the East Coast. I don't think anybody's really talked about that yet, but we got the Carolinas again. How close is this going to skirt and bring up those waves again?
That's the thing. Yes, you saw they lost another house over the weekend in the Outer Banks, right?
Heck yeah.
That's
yeah,
11.
And I talked to a local up there, and it really hit me hard because, hearing their stories, they've lived there their whole life, and it's tough. It's tough for those folks living up there to see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, as an ocean guy, it breaks my heart to see it. I mean, I know it's a shifting Outer Bank, but still, you don't want to see that happen. So, hey, let's get away from that. I want to talk about your last weekend. I was following you on the socials. Talladega looked like you had a good time.
Oh, always. Oh, my goodness. And we had weather come through Saturday night. Oh, my God. So, we had this front line coming, and I was on the boulevard. People tend to party on the boulevard.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah, including me. And I was like, hey, man, you hear there's a bad storm coming? And, I think 9 out of 10 people looked at me cross-eyed like, no. I'm like, yeah, we do. And holy cow, I don't know if you've seen the video, but the next morning, man, there was tents and stages and oh, it was terrible. Like, people were telling me stories in the tents that they had to escape to their vehicles because the tents were collapsing on them at 4 a.m.
Gosh, yeah, I saw that.
It was always fun though. We love Talladega.
How'd the race end up? How'd your guy do? Your car?
Oh, he did 11th. Oh, 11th. Yeah, it turned out he's a fan and storm chaser himself, and
love it.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
I love it. So, all right, take me through the day. You got there. The race goes on in the afternoon. How was that night, man? It just looked like it was fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is our 20th year. It's just, I always say it's like we're camping. You're camping with a race going on around you, But our family grew up there, the kids. Thinking back to pushing them in a stroller, and here's Emily driving up from Orlando. 8 hours she drove just to hang out with us, and I'm like, man, wasn't that long ago we were pushing her in a stroller here, And there she is, almost 20, And they got music playing. It's an environment that it's so unique. Like, everybody's spot is different. I mean, and it's just a big party.
It's speaking of big party. So my daughter goes to Ole Miss, and the Grove is a big party as well before a football game and everything like that. So we had a family friends come down, and to your point, it's like a party. I turn around and I see a kid that I coach him all through football. He's my son's best friend, Jake. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. I'm like, Jake, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, Coach Bob, I only smoke in 2 places, the Grove and in Talladega. I was like, oh,
there you go.
There you go. I guess it is a party.
Well, what happens at Dega stays at Dega.
I guess it's true. Mike, I appreciate you joining me again. Listen, we've got more coming up on next week, so you're going to stick around hopefully for next week too. Come back, and we'll see where this thing goes. Heck, who knows? We might be looking at Melissa in the same spot next week at this time. Yeah,
and every model cycle's you don't know. I mean, we look for these little trends, and it's gonna be hairy. We got a lot of people cruising the Bahamas. I mean, it's gonna affect a lot of folks here in the next week.
And I like what you said before. People think the hurricane season is dead. It's not. And if you ever cruise to the Caribbean or even a southern part of the Atlantic, you have to watch out this time of year. Good point.
Well, I always say it's fall to football. As soon as fall and football starts, it's like people just get shut off on the tropics, and that's really when things really get going in October.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mike Boylan, thanks a lot, and it's always great to talk to you. Every week I look forward to it.
Me too, man. Thanks, Bob.
All right, I'll talk to you.